Smooth and sugar sweet. You got what I need. Sipping on the potion. All that good emotion. Just make
We are here with GenX Kid, the General, GenX Dad. So I just got done talking to
Yeah.
GenX Kid here.
I had
And
to drag
so-
him over here.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Where's my cookie?
Somebody told him
I
that
was-
we were going to put a cookie on a seat. We didn't do
I
that.
didn't see a cookie.
I'm already getting razzed for it. Can someone get this man a cookie, please?
we need,
What kind of outfit you're running around here, but I was promised a goddamn cookie.
He wants his cookie,
Do I
man.
look like a man who misses cookies? No.
Someone get on the cookie, please.
they're, oh man, they're
now.
gone, dude.
Okay, we got two people running now.
Right,
You will have a
right.
cookie
It
before we
took
get
off
done.
when you said that. They went fast.
I should have asked.
They
them
know
to
how to
give me a
move.
cookie,
I'll
too.
tell you that much right now.
Good stuff. All right.
Okay, so first off, I asked you this question, but I gotta ask
Yeah.
him this question. So we all have a general in our life, okay? Like, is it whether it's Uncle Jimmy? Oh,
There
we
we
got a
go.
cookie,
Oh,
folks. Let's
All right.
and hey, not it. It's
Which
not.
camera's on me?
Yep,
This one right here?
yep.
I'll stick around now. There you go.
We're done. We've accomplished the mission. So
You don't get any of this shit.
splitting that?
No, I'm splitting that.
What? Come on,
You
man.
get shit.
So I don't care. Like I said, if it's Uncle Jimmy, it could be Uncle Bob, it could
Yeah.
be a cousin, it can be a grandpa. We all have somebody in our life that just doesn't give a shit, right?
Yeah. That's the way I was raised.
Or they do, and they tell you because they do, right? You can look at it either way.
I think the appropriate amount of shit you give should be a balance of both. Good parenting kicks the shit out of someone for the right reasons and the wrong ones.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you're going to make them walk the line one way or the other, right?
Just at this point, I don't care anymore. Just want him out. You know, I've been raising him for 18 years. At some point, you get exhausted.
Oh, yeah.
Like, are we done now? Can we be done? You know, whatever you got, this is you. I can't change it anymore. You're already you. So you're good or bad, just go.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
sticks- he
Your
sticks
work
around.
is done. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to make his own decisions now.
That's what I'm trying to say.
So you guys, you got started with the. What's funny is, he mentioned the dead horse video to me. I watched it, and I've seen that probably 6 times. When you walked over, I thought he looks familiar. You said the dead horse. I went and watched it. I'm like, I've seen that freaking video like I don't know how many times.
Yeah.
27 million views or something like that.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's-
like just okay. I gotta say, when I first watched the video, it resonated with me, and I think I sent it to like 4 people, which is probably why it has so many views,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, what about that? I'm assuming you knew he was videoing. Did that
Well-
piss you off even more? Is that why you just went in?
Oh,
Or
yeah. It gets him even more riled up.
The stuff, okay, the stuff he says, a lot of times, he's smart about it now. In the beginning, it was very difficult for him to get going on something, but now, lately, in the last year, he knows when I'm talking about something with a friend, a buddy, or my wife.
Yeah.
Then he hears a topic, he waits for me to get done, then he comes in, so, what about solar flares? And I'm like, you heard me just talking about that. You know what I was saying.
Yeah.
But on something like when he does something either unintentionally or intentionally, I lose my fucking mind sometimes with him. You know, you can't help but go, your
Yeah.
mind shuts off. You're like, what are you fucking doing? And half the time he does this shit, whether he knows what he's saying to get me going or he's actually being a fucking moron, he does it with the camera on. I'm like, are you
Yeah.
sure
Right.
you want to film this?
yeah.
Because this does not sound good.
Has anything ever been thrown in the process of filming? That's what I want to know. Because you're always working on something,
Yeah.
and I'm always worried
he's-
if you poke the bear too much,
Yeah,
something's gonna come across the room.
I threw a
There-
piece of paper at you
yeah.
once and it got banned.
Yeah.
Remember?
There was 2 videos where he threw a piece of paper at me. One got banned for like violence. 'cause he
Oh
threw
my
me-
Yeah,
gosh.
because I
And then-
committed violence and they wrote us up.
And
for
then
it.
there was one. It was like the day after. Like I just decided to do it again. He threw another piece of paper at me, and the funniest thing about it is I turned the camera around and you could just see it hit my
And he was
face
straight faced. He never even blinked. He just stood like this and went pong and he went,
because he just takes forever to roll up. He's like, bring kids and tosses. I'm like, oh, I already know it's coming. You know, it's like,
yeah, the couple of, there's been videos there. We've been banned before from channels.
Yeah.
They've shut us off.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you're too pro this, you're too anti that, you're too opinionated. And he handles all the appeals.
yeah.
You know, hey, we're sorry.
I
we
write an
didn't mean
apology
it.
letter.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it.
I can't control him. I
He's
poked the
like-
bear too much. Yeah.
Every now and then, I run into where I see the thing for appealing before
Yeah,
he does.
yeah.
I put the little middle finger emoji and I send it back.
Because
I said, if you'd like to submit your appeal, put it here. I put up the middle finger and hit end. Send it. All right, here you go. Try that. So,
All right, so let's talk about aliens.
Oh.
Like,
aliens.
yeah, I need to know. Do they exist, General?
There's either none out there at all, or there's hundreds of billions. Now, we did a live stream not too long ago, and I said, okay, and I was drinking. I do my live streams. I drink whiskey.
It makes for the best live streams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, check it out. We know there's Martians. We've been taught our whole life there's Martians. There used to be a civilization. There's that little man face, on Mars.
Yep.
I hate that they disproved that now, because I like knowing that was a face built by somebody. And I said, okay, so check it out. Here's what happened. Martians, the Mars got all messed up, moved away from the sun too far, uninhabitable. All the Martians came here. They live in the water. They live in the ocean. We haven't explored all the ocean.
Yeah.
Every now and then they pop up in one of their little Tic Tacs, and the Navy sees them. They go back down. So they're all down there living. Hey, if we can live as a human race on 25% of land,
Right.
and the water's 75%.
That's a pretty safe place,
it's a
right?
big area for
Yeah.
them to hang out, and that's fair. They claimed it like, hey, this is our shit. So down at the Marianas Trench, man, there's Martians. Now, I saw a documentary one time that proved it.
yeah.
It was called The Abyss.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you ever see that movie?
No, I did
Ed
see the
Harris,
movie.
The
Yeah.
Abyss. And at the end, the big structure comes up, and all these little
Yep.
light. Okay, well, we've already seen a good documentary on it. Why does no one remember
Have you been
this?
drinking?
Have you
Are you
guys
good?
have you guys watched Skinwalker Ranch?
No.
What?
It's called Skinwalker Ranch. Have you
No.
ever seen it? It's a
Yes.
documentary. There's this ranch, okay, in the middle of New Mexico, I think it is, and all these weird anomalies, strange things have been happening ever since like way back in the 1800s, and they're all documented. And so they have a whole film crew out there now, like basically reporting on this, and the documentary follows it. And so scientists and all these all these people,
Nice.
they've basically proved that there are black holes opening up somewhere over this ranch.
Well,
It's
there's- like
insane.
I said, either there's none out there, or there's hundreds of billions. There's no
Yeah.
in between. There's not like 9 aliens.
Yeah.
There's not like 50. There's either an entire civilization or there's none.
I didn't believe in aliens till I had 4 kids, and then I'm like, yeah, these aren't.
They're not
I'm pretty
normal.
sure these are not normal
Yeah,
kids.
we're not the only ones creating this mess. They had a deal that they went through an archive in Russia of just reports. They were going through all sorts of military reports when the collapse of Russia. These guys came across just a report that was turned in and said this saucer deal
Yeah.
was approached the military. They shot it from the ground with the surface. They hit it, and it fell down. And these 5 creatures got out. This is this list of all this stuff, and these other guys write on there and go, "Yeah, we saw it, and they were there." And then the aliens, this other ship came down and took them. And it was just written like matter of fact, like, yeah, well, this guy shot it down. Go check with him. And then his logbook says we shot at it and it fell out of the sky. All these things. Then they just signed off on it and put it in the pile, and went on with their day.
Yeah.
Nothing else. They weren't looking for fame.
There is
They
no
weren't
way in
looking for
hell we are
glory.
alone.
Yeah.
They weren't
I'm
looking
convinced
for
of
a
it.
TV show.
Yeah.
And then 30 years later, somebody finds it and goes,
They're like, oh wow.
"How come no one said anything?" And like, I don't know, it's just something that happened. We didn't care.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah.
the kind of stuff you go, wait a second.
Yeah.
You just
Scratch
found-
your head. Yeah.
Can I-
Wait,
can I check
hold
something
on.
that?
Yeah.
Did they give you an oatmeal cookie?
Careful. He might.
Oh man, come on.
Uh-oh.
Man.
It's a plant-based cookie.
Uh-oh.
Oh
It's not even a
man.
real
It's the
fucking-
only one we
Who
can
did
find.
this? Did you do that? How old are you? Are you 12? Are you part of some?
Hey,
of
if
some
you
new
eat that, you'll
movement?
grow big and strong.
It's a plant-based cookie.
Oh, wait,
man.
hey,
Hey,
hold
the
on,
other
hold on.
cookies. There's more
What
in there.
happened to the shot of whiskey?
We have an actual
Yeah,
chocolate
take
chip
that
cookie.
thing away,
He
man.
said,
I'll
take
take it,
that
I'll
thing
take it.
away.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Okay, now see, this looks a little better, but plant, really?
Yeah, you
Well,
see what he's eating. He's eating the real cookie.
He's
He
eating the
gives
real
you
cookie, that's
this
what I'm
one.
saying. I'm saying there
Okay.
was more in there.
Hold on. All right,
Hey,
my man.
he's
do-
former
do I look-
military. He thought he accomplished the mission.
Hey, my man, do I look like a guy who lives on plant-based anything?
He's
Oh
like,
yeah, you're military
cookie.
for sure. He's military.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
I got you.
that's- Okay, so tell me about what your real thoughts are on Gen Zs, because okay, I will say this: I've got a 17-year-old. Okay.
Yeah.
I got a 16-year-old. I got a 14-year-old. I got a 12-year-old. the older they get, the more I question a lot about what's going on with this generation.
Okay, I got an opinion, and I'm the only person who thinks this way. And I've got a unique pulse on Gen Z. Number one, he interacts with thousands and thousands and thousands of them,
Yeah.
not just in GenX Talks, but in his gaming.
Yeah.
And
So I get to
school and all that,
overhear
yeah.
a ton of what they say and how they think, just off the cuff. Now, not the 20% of Gen Zs that are fucking bottle flippers and Tide Pod eaters.
Yeah.
Not those guys.
Right.
It is so weird to see there's a good portion of Generation Z that doesn't give a shit. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. I hear them talking sometimes over the past 3 years, and they're like, yeah, it's fucking my math teacher was sitting there in math class, and my math teacher's telling me about climate change, and here's proof, and here's a documentary, and you're with me, right, on that? And literally these kids go, hey, you know what? I'll make up my own opinion.
Yeah.
I'll think about it. Can we get back to math? That's
Right.
why you're here, right?
Yeah, you are a math teacher, right? Yeah.
Teacher after teacher, class after class. And I'm starting to pick up on this over the last 3 years. And it's almost like there's an entire part of Gen Z that is a movement in that direction. And there's no leader. There's not a guy going, all right, get into math class and make them teach math. Make them stick to their subject. There's no dude doing that. There's no website they all wake up and go to in the morning and go, okay, so what do we do today?
Right.
There's no organization to it. It's just a bunch of kids that are constantly saying, quit bombarding me with this shit. I'll figure it out on my own.
Yep.
And some of them are left, some of them are right, some are conservative, some are liberal, but they've got this weird mindset of like, you guys, quit pounding me with all this shit.
Stop pushing your agenda and just teach me what I need to know.
It's something that we could not have made them do.
Yeah.
We couldn't have corralled all of them and said, look, man, stand up for yourself. Don't take this shit.
Yeah.
Especially when we see them flipping bottles and eating Tide Pods. We wouldn't even have considered it. And they're
You haven't
doing
eaten
it.
any Tide Pods, have you?
No.
Can you confirm that?
Yeah.
Okay, just
My
making
wife
sure.
locked those up pretty quick, so we're good.
I never got to
but
try them.
the pendulum with those kids is swinging in a direction that I wouldn't have ever thought possible. And I'm the only.
And
Everyone
That's
tells me,
a
you're
great
full of
point.
shit.
I mean, that's a really, really good point because you figure, I don't care, left, right, center, I don't care. Just make up your own mind.
Right.
And don't let someone else convince you of something. Like, you make it up, make your mind, study it, make your mind up for yourself, do your thing. And like, I just don't like the fact that public schools are pushing agendas. Like, the kids are gonna,
Well, that's where how do you get them to fight back and stand up, and how do you get the teachers to shut down? And while you're thinking about it and trying to come up with a plan that's not possible for us to do, we're never going to find something like that. They're doing it, so I'm encouraged by that. I don't know how long it'll last.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be a big movement and it'll be like a tidal wave in 5 years. I don't know, but I like what I'm seeing. I like that vibe is out there.
Yeah.
Because that's great. Think on your own, man. Good.
Yeah.
I'm into that. Just stop having all the teachers tell you what's going on.
So do you think, okay, you're 18, right?
I'm 17.
17. Okay. So you got a 17-year-old. When you were 17, did your dad look at you like you look at him?
No, my grandfather did.
Okay.
My
So,
grandfather completely did.
okay.
A lot of times he'd look at me and go, what the fuck are you thinking?
That's what I'm thinking. So is
Yeah.
this just a generational thing, do you think? Like, do you think every generation is going to have this? Every generation is going to see? Because, like, my dad, I would agree with you. My dad probably didn't, but my granddad, 100%. He was like, you're batshit crazy.
Well,
Right?
okay, so I've raised 32 children. This last batch of 8 that my wife and I raised, there's 4 boys and 4 girls.
Yeah.
And so our oldest.
Are you guys
one-
foster parents? How'd you raise so many kids?
Yeah, we did foster parenting.
Okay.
We adopted some kids from foster care.
Yeah.
Sibling groups. So we got a good handle on, we get the relationship side of it.
Yeah.
And our oldest son is 30 or 31 now. I don't know. And when you're talking about generational raising, he does not raise his. How old is his son? 6, 5?
5.
5 years
Yeah,
old.
5.
He's not. If it's generational, it stopped, because he's a millennial and he is not. Him and his wife are not anything like I was.
Yeah.
They're more hugs and feels and let's talk about this. And my wife and I were around the kid. We're like, we're more, you scratched your knee, shut the fuck
Yeah.
up, rub it off, rub some dirt on it, and let's go.
Yep.
My wife encouraged him to go out as a grandmother, go outside and play in the mud, turn the hose on and get muddy. Oh, my daughter-in-law had a conniption fit. What the fuck are you doing? She goes, it's just dirt.
Yeah.
When you're done, hose them off.
Yeah, he's
and
got a
run them in the
hose.
house.
Wash it off.
See the difference there. So if it was generational, that part stopped in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Because
I
they
can
don't
see
do
that.
it.
Yeah.
All of them are, let's talk about what you did. You did something wrong. You stole from the cookie jar. I'm like, you can ask my wife this, when our kids were 6, 7 years old and we caught them sticking their hand in a cookie jar, I'd run in and slam the cookie jar on their hand.
Yeah.
And while I'm holding it and they're screaming, I'm going, now let's talk about this.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to have your hand in there. And then they're screaming.
Now let's talk about
because their
it.
hands in there. So he's like, you got all the time in the world, man. We ain't going anywhere. My children talk to their children like, now, should you have taken the cookie? Why did you take the cookie?
Right.
Is there something going on in your life that caused you to be disobedient? I lose my fucking shit with that. I'm like, okay, I don't know what you're doing. You got to backhand that kid and say, don't do it again, because they'll remember that.
Yeah.
When they go to reach for the cookie jar, they'll go, oh, wait, that hurt last time.
Yeah.
I'll stay away from the cookie jar.
I feel like a lot of people get generational traits mixed up with cultural things. 'Cause I feel like I act more like a Gen X in my personal life than I would as a generic Gen Z. And like you said with the pendulum, it's a cultural thing. It's how you were raised, not just the time you were born.
Yeah. That is. See, he's
fair
not that
point.
dumb. That was a
No,
very smart
But he
answer.
plays dumb on TV.
Nuh-uh.
So are you trying to tell me it's a character? You're not as
Yeah.
dumb as you appear on TikTok.
No,
Because that didn't sound like an answer that came from somebody who didn't know what they were talking about.
Everyone's favorite question for us is, are these unscripted or scripted?
Yeah.
That's everyone's
Age-old
question
question.
every time. And we always go, yes.
Right.
Yes.
Hey, any good entertainment is going to have a balance of improv and script together. It's
Yeah.
always going to have that. Like,
He still hates doing the videos,
yeah.
but like he'll do a live stream whenever he wants.
Yeah, because the live stream, I can drink. I'm talking with my friends. It's kind of like sitting around a bar.
Yeah.
Get a couple hundred people. They're asking questions in the comment section.
Yeah.
So I'm talking
And you got
back.
time to talk, and the conversation changes, the
Yeah.
story changes. Like,
That's the problem with short form content. Yeah.
The worst part is when in the comment section of a video, you get these fuckers who come in there and they'll say, you're abusive. I'm turning you into protective services.
Yeah.
And I always go back on them like, wow, you diagnosed how my relationship is through a 60-second
yeah,
video.
so you're right. Yeah.
What are you, a TikTok therapist? Because
Yeah,
that's
that's
amazing.
crazy.
Most therapists take weeks to unwind my personality, and
Yeah.
you did it in 60 seconds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
My
people-
wife does content around marital affairs. Okay, so she tries to help people save their marriage before they just decide, to divorce. Okay. You want to talk about some like hate in the comments? Oh man, she gets it.
Yeah,
she
I
gets it
bet.
bad.
You'd have
So,
to, because
yeah.
everyone's going to have an opinion on that.
Yep.
Yeah, you were talking
So-
about the dead horse video. A little funny story about that is that some of the videos I run it by him because at that point he was starting to he was kind of interested in the channel. He didn't want to obviously wasn't doing it, but he wanted to just see it, and he was like, that's not gonna get any views, right? I was like, it might do okay.
We
It's
played it
Good
back
old
for me when he was
positive
done.
dad.
Yeah, I know.
You know, it's not gonna get any views, right?
Well, because who wants to talk about shit like that? Or who wants to hear that shit?
I played the dead horse video back, and I was like, yeah, I guess it's all right. I guess it's like a filler video,
Yeah.
And then it just took off.
Well, and that's funny because sometimes he'll do something and he'll film a video and he plays it back and I go, dude, that's fucking solid, man. There's a
Yeah,
good
we're like,
message
yeah.
in there.
Well, yeah, this is good.
It's on point. I go, that's going to do really well.
Ends up
Fucking
with 5,000
flat
views.
lines and nobody's doing anything about it,
That's the strange thing about social media, man.
It's
You
not
you
how-
never know what it's going to resonate with
Yeah,
people.
it's
and
not
it's
how we
different.
think of it,
It's
it's
very
how they
different. The
think of
same
it.
video will do very differently platform by platform. I mean,
Probably
Dead
has a lot
Horse,
to do with the algorithms of each
Yeah.
platform too.
And
it,
Yeah.
the
ha- it
audience.
just the audience. There's different people on Facebook. There's different people on TikTok. So Dead Horse got 28 million views or whatever on TikTok, and it flatlined on YouTube. Nobody cared.
Yeah.
I mean, like nothing. Just passed over. Like, yeah, that's all right. No big
Yeah.
deal.
Different audience too.
It's a different audience,
Yeah.
completely
So, yeah.
different. I would not have suspected that because I'm the same guy if I'm on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok. I'm the same guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the general audience is way different. So
Yeah, for sure. Okay, one more question. pretty much every video I see of you guys, when you start going in, you're working on something.
Yeah.
What the hell are you working on? I've seen
He's
like
got so much.
I've seen like computer parts and like I've seen like a
I don't know. Sometimes
machine stuff. Like,
I'm
what
just
are you doing?
tinkering on something or got something in my hands or I'm doing
Yeah, he's
something.
got it.
I'll tell you why.
You were
it's-
sorting M&Ms in one video.
Sorting
Hershey's Kisses,
M&Ms.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, he was lining up
Well,
Hershey's Kisses too. He does,
I was lining
he
up
literally
her-
does everything.
I was lining up Hershey's Kisses in that one, and we had
Yeah.
our router bits open.
Yeah.
And so one guy goes, not one guy, a lot of them say, you're going to take a router bit and drill something in the shape of the Hershey Kiss? Are you trying to match them so you can put the kisses inside the wood and the router bit fits the wood? I'm like, you guys are really reaching here.
People
Just
are
happen
really
to be
reaching.
some router bits
No,
in there.
but that's maybe I will.
One thing about us is that he says I never sit still. Like I'm always doing something, which
Yeah.
is kind of true. I am always like jittery doing something. He does the same thing. He's every video. He's always doing something. I never walk in and he's just sitting there.
Because there's a reason for part of that. I don't know if he told you in the beginning how he got all this started. It didn't work.
Yeah.
All the stuff he was trying failed. But then his mother had told him, okay, catch him while he's kind of doing something.
Yep.
And then not super concentrating. Yeah, don't do it when I'm doing my taxes. But you do it when he's kind of tinkering. Then he's kind of distracted. He's kind of over the shoulder, and he answers you. So now he just instinctively waits till I'm fiddling with something,
Yeah.
and then he comes in.
Are
So
you
he
really just trying to pawn this off on me like you're not always doing something?
no,
Don't act like I always walk in.
I
and you're
never
doing
do
something.
anything. And the 1 minute I pick
Oh
something
my
up, you
goodness.
racing with the camera.
Yeah, of course.
This is all on you.
This guy.
Well, that's why, because it's part of it is he knows that if I'm doing something,
Yeah.
I'm kind of,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
You're
scream-
preoccupied.
But
Yeah, a
still,
little
he's
bit.
always doing something. It's like, and sometimes I'll bug him like 3 times a day. Like, and 2 of the times he's like, no, I don't want. I'm not answering any questions.
Or
Yeah.
sometimes sometimes I fuck the whole thing up. Like I start going off. I'll bet he filmed. Well, it used to be. We've been busy lately with you
Yeah.
graduating and all, but I would bet he did 3 to 5 filmings a day. Sometimes couldn't get one good cut,
Yeah.
not one good take
Yeah,
that he could
fumbles.
use. He's like,
it's human conversation. You know,
Yeah.
you're not gonna be.
yeah.
perfect.
So,
Yeah, it's got to
every
be
time.
stupid enough, you know?
Yeah, it's gotta
Yeah.
be funny enough. You know, it's like,
and then he gets mad if it's not under a minute. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I'm just responding.
I
I
know,
can't
he's
be
got-
on a
Yeah, I don't
timer.
have a timer.
long-winded answers.
He wants to come up here. Hey, Dad, what do you think? And then he's got a timer. Like, pay
No, I-
attention.
If he's looking at me, I go like wrap it
Yeah,
up.
wrap it
Like,
up. Speaking of, so hey, thank you guys for sitting down with us. I mean it. So it took a while. We did get you 2 cookies. One
Yeah.
doesn't count.
No,
The
that
other one,
plant-based
maybe.
shit, that's just
It's
ridiculous.
a big cookie though.
It's a big cookie.
Yeah, but if it's plant-based, that's what my dinner eats. Does that make sense?
I'm gonna give you a piece of this, and I want to see if you know which one's plant-based.
I guarantee it.
Can we try that real
We
fast?
should do it.
No, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
I wanna
we're
try
doing
I
it.
want to see if you know which one's plant-based.
We got it. Let's do it.
I'm not doing
You
that.
got to tell us which cookie is plant-based and which is real.
Yeah, did you notice how you said it? One's a real cookie. You even said it. So I don't know what he's been telling you guys at home, but he
My
just
personal
said it.
opinion is you're going to know just based off the texture, because there is no way a non-plant-based cookie is going to be able to be the same texture as a chocolate chip cookie. There's no way.
No.
All right,
So
here's your 2
let's see what we
pieces.
got. There's two different
All right,
cookies.
this is the plant-based, and that's the real one. Go
How
on.
about taste it? Does it taste the same?
I don't want to
Does it
taste the
taste the same?
plant-based
Don't
one.
taste
I
the same.
don't want
You
to
have to tell
taste.
me. You have to tell me.
I don't want to taste it. No,
The viewers
Smaller
gotta know.
bites. We just need a smaller bite.
I'm not doing it.
Come on.
Smaller bite.
I'll do it if you do it.
I'm not.
It doesn't taste the same.
Told you.
It doesn't
shit.
taste the same.
We're gonna file that under no shit. You needed to go through some 5-step scientific experiment to figure out that
Yeah.
a fake cookie doesn't taste like a real cookie.
He thinks that Sprite's better than 7, or he thinks 7-Up's better than Sprite.
Oh, I'm down with that.
What?
See?
I'm down with that. Yeah. Our generation, you're a little older than me, but I think older than you, 7-Up was our Sprite.
Well, okay, what I did with him is I put 7-Up in one glass, Sprite in
not
another.
true.
And this is a true
not
story. He
true.
will try to deny it. But I
shit.
made him drink both, and he said Sprite was better. He pointed at the one that was Sprite and said it
Didn't
was better.
happen.
It's a
Yeah,
true
because
story.
when we were sick, Mom was like, drink your 7-Up and typically had some chicken noodle soup and
And a-
7-Up.
And
And some crackers, those little saltine
Yeah,
crackers.
or you had tomato soup and a grilled cheese.
Yeah.
And a 7-Up. You can have. That's it.
My
That's
sick
it.
food has always been mac and cheese. Like
I'll tell
Kraft
you
mac
what,
and
my
cheese.
wife gets mad at. We go to a restaurant. And I'll say, order something. I'll say, give me a Coke. and they'll say, "Is Pepsi okay?" And I'll say, "Yeah, can I pay you with Monopoly money when we're done?" And they say, "Well, why would you do that?" So, "Well, you're going to give me fake Coke, I'm going to pay you with fake money." I think that's fair. They don't.
I think that's
they don't-
very fair.
It's hard to get them to understand
Yeah.
that. That and the other one they always do is, if I have one more person tell me the word perfect. One more waitress.
We did a video
What do you
about
want?
this.
A cheeseburger? Oh,
Yeah.
perfect. How would you like that prepared?
Perfect.
Medium.
Yeah.
Oh,
Perfect.
perfect. What do you want as a side? Fries. Perfect. Really? I've stopped waitresses midstream with my wife there and gone, was really every choice I made perfect?
Yeah.
What do you mean? You said perfect after every fucking thing I said. If I told you I wanted 10 ice cubes, is that also perfect? She goes, well, that's just what I said. I go, well, it's fucking annoying. Pick a different
actually
word.
does this.
Mix them up a little
Genuine.
bit.
This is true.
This is true.
He's laid witness to it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
After the fifth or sixth one, I got to say something. You cannot just say, and the people next to me, they're ordering their shit. Everything they ordered was perfect, too.
And as soon as they say perfect, one time his whole demeanor changes. Like,
Oh, yeah, it's done.
They say it once, he's
Done.
like, ah. He's like, ah,
Just
man.
like that thing at McDonald's they just did when the Grimace.
Grimace
They had
shake.
the Grimace shake you could order last month or 2 months ago.
Yeah, the Grimace shake. All these kids were acting like dead.
Yeah, well, they were
that
doing
was
it
funny,
was a
though.
big
I-
Grimace,
those-
big
those
Grimace,
kinda
big
cool.
Grimace. So I drove up. My wife has it on film. I did it so often. We never showed anybody. But I ordered a Grimace shake, and I pull up, and she goes, that'll be like $3 or whatever. I said, so that's a Grimace shake. Yeah, you got the purple on today? She goes, yeah. I go, you got a little Grimace, little button there? She goes, yeah. I said, what's the Grimace?
Or who's Grimace?
And she
Who's
goes,
Grimace?
what do you mean? I go, well, you're promoting the Grimace. Who's this little guy you're wearing? What's the Grimace? Who is he? She goes, well, I don't know.
I don't
said,
know.
you fucking work here. This is your job. You don't even know. You're wearing purple. And you're selling Grimace. You don't even know who it is. She goes, no. I pay that one. I pull up to get it. Same thing with the next one. One time I called over the manager. I said, you're in charge around here. What's a Grimace? Why are we doing Grimace shake? She had no idea.
What's a Grimace?
None. Now you and I know what Grimace is.
Well, yeah,
McDonald's
sure.
characters when we were kids, little purple guy.
Yeah, the burglar and
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right. It was
burger.
one of those guys.
Yeah.
They're fucking selling them at no clue. All right, I'm sorry. That bothers me a little bit.
Well,
It's like you're talking about my generational stuff. You're selling it and you have no idea what you're doing.
yeah.
I don't know why it bothers me. Maybe I'm stupid. I
No,
probably
I
am.
feel you. I feel you on that one. There are certain things that irk. I will say that. So
I don't know.
Well, listen.
I'm rambling. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. We got Sugar Ray about to come up, so I want to make sure we wrap this up before they start taking over because we won't be able to hear anything. So
Yeah.
make sure you check out GenX Talks on TikTok, YouTube, wherever. They've got a podcast, GenX Talks podcast.
Yeah.
So make sure you check them out on all the channels. Guys, thank you so much for sitting down with us. I appreciate it.
Hey, I hope I didn't
Do
waste
your
too much of
thing.
your time.
Yeah. Don't let anybody stop you guys. Do your thing. Keep being you. I love it. Let's
Try
do it.
to.
Thank you guys.
Hey, and I'll catch you on the flip side.
On the flip side.